Evening. I'm your host, Karen Hudis, and this show is the 34th segment in the DC TV series on the network of global corporate control. Today's segment is following up on a prayer of Ferdinand Marcos. If America fails, then the world is lost. At the end of World War II, Ferdinand Marcos, who was the lawyer for José Rizal, who was the superior general of the Jesuits at the time, put the world's international monetary gold reserves and other wealth into a trust for the benefit of humanity for 50 years. That trust is called the Global Debt Facility, and it's administered by the Board of Governors of the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. The Board of Governors is 188 ministers of finance and development. I'm the lawyer for the Global Debt Facility. The Federal Reserve does not have the United States monetary gold reserves, and neither does the U.S. Treasury. The Global Debt Facility has put liens on the Federal Reserve in the 11 states where the Federal Reserve banks are located. That's because the Federal Reserve is bankrupt. That's because the Federal Reserve has actually issued over $200 trillion back in the 30s, and those bonds, they're called Treaty of Versailles bonds. They've been compounding interest. They're now worth over $2 quadrillion. So we don't owe the Fed money on country debt. It's actually that all of the country debt can be offset against this $2 quadrillion. The Fed's dishonesty in refusing to admit that people do not hold valid legal title to their property, that federal judges are sitting in bogus courts that are not the courts in Article 3 of the Constitution, because the United States federal government is being run according to a second secret constitution that the banks put into place in 1871, instead of the Constitution of 1789 that many people still think is in effect. People's opinion of the legal profession has tanked. So has their opinion of journalists. 2/3 say the national news media has a negative effect on the country. And just this past week, I tweeted something which was retweeted 52 times. I said, let's face it, none of the media is telling the truth. And the reason why is because the media is owned by this network of global corporate control. We know this for a fact because 3 mathematicians at the Federal Institute of Technology did an analysis of who owns the 43,000 companies on the capital markets, and they found out that